Feeling like a weenie, but now it's 5:30. It's time for a martini. Welcome to our show. Welcome to our Kiki, the 5:30 Quarantini. Hello, and welcome to the 5:30 Quarantini. I'm Michael Hull,
and I'm Dylan Bustamante,
and this is gonna be a good time. Hey, Dills, happy Thursday!
It is happy Thursday. How are you doing today?
I'm so good. I have not left my house because it is disgusting here in New York City. So I'm really winning. I've been laying low. This is the first time I took my pajamas off just to do this show. You guys,
perfect.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I put real clothes on.
I did leave the house today because I got my flu shot.
Ah, good for you.
Yes.
Welcome to the ranks of the flu shot immune people. Nailed it. I don't know what's going on.
Good job.
It's gonna be great.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's a big day. It's Thursday.
It's a very big day.
I'm very excited about our guest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited about all the things going on in the world tonight. If you don't know, tonight, former guest of the show, J. Armstrong Johnson, has his spooky Halloween show to benefit Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS.
Yes, that is tonight at 8 o'clock.
Are you watching?
Of course I'm watching. Look at that. Who doesn't want a little hocus pocus in their life again?
I'm so excited. I've only been able to see the show live once, and so this will be my second time ever getting to see it.
So great and so fun, and they have been crazy in putting this together, and I've talked to Jay about it the other night, and it's gonna be spooky.
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be spooky.
Well, that's something to look forward to later tonight. But first things first, welcome to our show.
Yes.
We got you covered for happy hour today, for the next hour. As always, if you're having fun tonight, which I'm sure you're about to, and if we were out at a bar doing this live show and you wanted to tip us a few dollars, don't tip us a few dollars.
Not at all.
If you got a few bucks you're dying to throw at a good cause, we are raising money for Broadway for Biden. We're getting very close to a super important election. You voted early. I voted early. I hope everybody out there voted. tinyurl.com/bwaybiden will take you right to that page where you can throw them $1 or $5 or $500. Whatever.
Or the person that just texted me asked for $25.
Oh my gosh. Is Kamala Harris texting you again?
Yes. Yep. Kamala Harris just texted. We have the power to win this election. This is why Joe and I are counting on you to volunteer.
Well, you got it, girl. Anything you want, we'll be there. We want you to be the next vice president so badly. Hi, everybody in the comments. We see you.
Yes.
And we're excited to get going. You're going to be extra important today because we've got a really special game. If you're a Broadway nerd, make sure you stick around because we're going to need you.
If you're a wine nerd,
please
stick around.
We already have one of those today, but you're welcome to stick around too. It's going to be a good time. Dylan, what do you say we jump in?
Let's jump in because I'm thirsty.
Right. Oh my God, you guys. Our guest today made her Broadway debut in the hit musical Legally Blonde, where she was seen as both Margot and Elle.
She's also permanently cemented in my mind from the TV series, You're the One That I Want, where she went head-to-head with such Broadway superstars like Laura Osnes and Ashley Spencer.
Never heard
for the role of Sandy in the 2007 revival of Grease.
Is the word. She later joined the cast of Hair on Broadway and also toured with that production before returning to New York to star in Bring It On, where she created the role of Skylar, who was probably too cool for you, so friend request denied.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
Thank you.
She also starred in my favorite 80s rock musical, Rock of Ages, and most recently was in the Broadway musical Mean Girls, where she originated the role of Karen Smith and showed us how smart you have to be to play someone who's maybe a little dumb. Let's take a look at today's guest. It's KATE Rockwell.
If I could change the world might make us have world peace and also Halloween every single day.
Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the words do when they settle neath your skin. Kept it on the inside, no sunlight, and sometimes the shadow wins. I wonder what would happen if you say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave.
Where I go, I hear the beating of my heart. I think about you, the night is cold, the thought of mom, yeah. Nobody loves me the way that you do. Nothing erases this feeling between me and you. I drove all night to rescue you. Is that all right?
What do I need to repeat? We're hotter, we're richer, our unicorn's cuter, and we're so much better. I am a sexy mouse.
Oh, it's a good cut though. That's a good cut.
Thank you. I work so hard on these, but yours was absolutely my favorite because I was like, we are making sure we get High School Musical at North Shore in there.
I cannot, not once, but twice. 2 references to High School Musical.
Mhm.
Oh my God, that was funny. And I also love all of the bootlegs of Rock of Ages that are in there.
Bootlegs are bad, but they're great for this.
You didn't make them, so it's not your fault,
True.
True.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, no, that's not me.
Kate Rockwell, hi. Welcome to the show. We're
Yes.
so happy that you're here.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for giving me an excuse to like put on pants, and I'm wearing pants right now. I like put on jeans for this, so this is like
Wow.
a big.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Well,
I'll
no
even
one's going to know
prove
if
it.
I'm wearing pants or not.
You can see it's
Oh,
actually denim.
my, wow, you are so committed. I'm proud of
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Where in the world are you coming to us from on this fabulous Thursday?
I am by fabulous. I mean, literally the
And
worst thing we've had all
It's
year.
it's about to get fabulous. It's sort of
Right.
right now. This is
Yes.
turn it around.
Here
Yes.
in this 4 walls. I'm in Brooklyn right now. Actually, I am in sequester for a project that I am working on for Netflix for the next. What do I have left? I have like a week and a half left.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, so fun.
Yeah, and I've been here for a little over a week and a half now. It's just about 3 weeks total. And I didn't see another person at all until this past Tuesday, which was my first day on set. So it's really nice to see you guys.
Oh my gosh.
It's so nice to have human contact.
Oh my God, real life people, even in a box, I will take it.
Yeah. Listen, it's a pandemic. We're taking what we got.
Absolutely.
Well, it sounds like, with that being said, it sounds like you need a drink, girl.
Yes.
So we have a lot to catch up on. But before we do that, let's pour out your drink of choice today. What's it going to be?
I picked red wine today because it is so dark and miserable. And I actually really went for it. This is a California cab blend. This is, little plug actually. So if you look here on the side, this is from the newly created Broadway Wine Club.
Oh.
This is this really cool organization that they literally just launched. And they're basically trying to, ultimately, the goal is to make the wine that is served in theaters, I'm going to use the word palatable.
Okay.
Because for those of us who do love wine, it is a really tough experience to drink that wine that is like $4 a bottle that they charge like $30 a glass for. And so originally they wanted to bring like high quality wine into the theaters. And then the pandemic happened. And so they've created a direct to consumer program now. And I'm working with them on some tastings and some cool stuff that's upcoming. So I get to try, this is one of their flagship wines, but this was created for them from this winery out in California in St. Helena called Crocker and Star.
Mhm.
And it is Ghost Light wine. Yeah, now Nellie knows it. Nellie's got it. But this the Ghost Light wine. So it's a Cab Syrah blend, and she is a monster, and it is delicious.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
that's
Well,
so awesome. I'm drinking a Garnacha currently from
Oh,
Rioja.
Garnacha.
Yes.
España wine.
also
Mhm.
drinking, I think, a blend from California. I'm drinking
Josh.
Josh.
Josh, if my parents were still here, which they were in the comments a minute ago, that's their go-to.
Well,
Always
It's a-
have
look,
Josh
guys,
on
this
hand.
is good quality wine. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
Happy hour indeed. So obviously you are you're a Broadway favorite. You're a super talent. You've got a voice that doesn't stop. But what some people might not know about you is you are also a wine enthusiast, which has inspired today's drink of choice. Have you always been a wine enthusiast? Is this a new passion for you?
You know what? I fell in love with wine kind of just as a hobby. I liked it because it wasn't as strong as cocktails, and I felt like it was a safe thing to do back in the day. And I was like, I can have 2 of these, but only 1 martini. So like, I will take 2 of these. And then I kind of just got into, actually, my husband and I really started enjoying like visiting the properties, and we went to Napa once, and we like went out to the Long Island wineries, and we like really enjoyed it just for fun. And then when I finished Rock of Ages, I left Rock of Ages after a year and a half, which followed a year and a half straight of Bring It On. So 3 straight years of a new musical going into, replacing into Rock of Ages. And I was pretty beat up and tired, and I like needed a minute.
I mean, after 2.5 years of Rock of Ages, like I would be tired as well.
After
Yeah,
watching a performance of Rock of Ages, I'm tired.
It was a very athletic, and the singing was intense. And then again, Bring It On, we literally threw people. So like,
Yeah.
it was just, I was just really, really tired. And so I actually, by happenstance, encountered a friend of a friend at a party, and he happened to work at a wine store in the Lower East Side, and he was like, do you want to come work for me? And I was like, sure, I'll like run the register and like move boxes and drink free wine. That sounds great, 2 nights a week.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it. I was
That's so cool.
obsessed. It was so cool. I ended up going to it's sort of like a certification school. It's called the WSETs. And I got they do it like they name them kind of funny things, but I got like an intermediate degree, and then I got what they call the advanced degree, which is a 6-month program. Not by no means the like up programs. It's like still down here, but like it was a really,
Girl,
really
it's higher than me.
because you know what? It makes me an incredibly educated consumer, which is a really useful thing to be, because the wine market can be really opaque and really hard to sort of like get your feet in. So I feel really, really good about how to consume it, what I want, what kind of wine I want to drink. And I feel like I have a useful skill now that I can like help my friends. Like I'm that person that everyone sends pictures of wine lists or like at wine stores.
Yeah.
So that when they like don't know what to get, like they reach out to me, and I get to like be like, oh, pick this one. This will be good with your fish. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, that's so fun. And you started a second Instagram channel specifically about this passion. Is it at the Broadway Wino or at Broadway Wino?
Just at Broadway Wino. That's me. I am Broadway Wino. It's actually been really fun. I've had a little bit of an opportunity over this ridiculous 8 months to actually explore that a little bit, which has been really cool. I've gotten to do some tastings. Actually, just a couple weeks ago 2 weeks ago now, did my very first live streamed tasting, which was awesome. And I think we'll probably do again because it was really, really fun. And I've done some private work with some organizations, working with Broadway Wine Club now. It's been awesome just to get to like kind of settle into that world again. I love the wine world. I think it's so much fun. It's just like theater. It's art in a bottle.
Right. Yeah.
So there's so many parallels in our world and their world. Also, like just like theater people are a bunch of nerds, wine people are a bunch of nerds. It's like literally our people. They're so fun and they're so friendly, and they just want to like share. Like all wine is about sharing experiences, just like live theater is. So it was an easy transition for me in and out of those two.
That's such a cool way to think about it.
Yeah, I never
hadn't
thought of it that way.
like that, but that is super
so true.
cool. That's awesome. I hope you do another live tasting. I just popped your handle up real quick. If you don't follow Broadway Wino, follow that. Let's all go to a Kate Rockwell live wine tasting.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I'll definitely put my glass of Josh down long enough to try something, maybe learn about something a little different.
We'll find something interesting that's in that vein, but maybe a little more natural, a little more handmade and chemical-less.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm not taking on the Josh though. I'm all for a glass of Josh.
You know what? It's my go-to. Like, it's my normal wine. Like, it's not very fancy, but it doesn't taste like dirt. You know, it's a normal wine. You can drink. Well, you could drink a few glasses of it before.
It's your day-to-day wine. It's your Monday through Friday wine, not your Saturday and Sunday wine.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that too. I'm stealing that one too.
Before we dive into talking theater, because speaking of being a nerd and being theater, we're gonna get to that. But do you have, for someone, I like a red wine. Do you have a favorite, not like $1,000? Do you have a favorite bottle that's like a nice red bottle that, like, if somebody wanted to try their first red wine at your recommendation, what's like your go-to bottle?
I will say that for me, the price point starts at about 13. I don't really do much under that because you start dealing with like all the terrifying chemicals in the world and very little actual wine. So I would say like I love Chianti. It's one of my favorite like overall categories of wine. Chianti comes from sort of central southern Italy, from Tuscany, right, not too far outside of Florence actually, and it is like dark dried cherries. It's so yummy. It goes with so many things. And if you spend like $16 on a bottle of Chianti, you're going to get a really amazing bottle of wine. So that's where I say start there. It's like a really great like way into natural, like not natural wine, but like into like quality wine. The trick about good wine for low price point is getting out of the US. And I hate saying that because I love US wine market, but we're still so new, relatively speaking, to wine.
For sure.
But it costs us a lot to make good wine. Like, whereas like in Italy and France, it's like they've been doing it since literally ever. So like it's not hard for them. They own the land. Like they don't got to work very hard to do it. They know what they're doing. They're not screwing with it. They're not like, let's see what weird science we can create. They're like, we know what we're doing. We're making good wine. So it costs much less. So you can get a much higher quality bottle of wine from France or Spain or Italy or Greece if you like can find it for that price point. But California is expensive, and I mean even New York to a degree is still pretty high of a price point. So sorry,
Well, that's
US.
awesome.
I'm very supportive of the US wine. We're getting there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm not, Chianti is never my go-to, but next time I stop into a wine store, I will head in that direction.
Yes.
Splurge,
Grab some
splurge
Chianti.
for the $16 to $18 bottle, and my splurge, I mean, it's still under $20, so it's less than you're going to pay for a martini at a bar. And
you're gonna get four glasses out of it.
you're going to get 4 glasses out of
Like,
it.
come on.
It's going to change your life.
Oh, I love that idea. That sounds so great. Chianti, here we come.
I
Can't
have been, and we went there on our honeymoon, my husband Spencer and I, my husband, and it is literally the most beautiful place I've ever been. It's
Oh my God,
just
I'm
truly
obsessed.
like rolling hills, and we were there in September, so the leaves were like just starting to turn the tiniest bit, and you like look out over the cliff, and there's just like acres and acres of grapes growing, and you're like, well, shit, like what do we have?
The 1 week that Dylan and I left New York City during this whole pandemic, we went with 2 other friends. Everybody got tested and quarantined, and we went for this 1 week. We went to Cape Cod, and we went to the Cape Cod winery.
I've been there.
It's about the size of my bedroom. You've been?
So is it the teeny tiny little one where they like
Yes.
out in the back? Yep.
It's the only winery in Cape Cod.
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have really great lobster merch though. Like their merch that says like Cape Cod Winery with lobsters all over it. I was like, this is everything I love come together.
Oh my God, look at you finding the silver lining at Cape Cod Winery. You are.
It wasn't the
best.
wine. The wine wasn't the best part of the winery.
Definitely not the wine.
We
Definitely
didn't
not
think
the
so
wine.
either. But hey, anyway. So I want to talk a little bit about, obviously, you most recently, you kind of hit superstardom as your performance in Mean Girls was so incredible. Your Karen was just so fun. You are clearly such an actress, so fun to watch on stage. And it's not the first time that you've played like a younger kind of like
High
comedy
school,
role.
teenage.
High school comedy role. Why don't I say that? Did you know when you went into rehearsals for Mean Girls, did you kind of have a handle on how you wanted to play Karen? Was it something you found along the way? Have you always, well, let's just start there. How did you find your way to Karen?
I think that I've talked about this a little bit before, but I think that like, it's almost like cheating. I really went into it going, just don't mess it up, because like on paper it was perfect, you know. I mean, I've looked up to Tina my entire life. I think she's an incredible, you know, supernova in the entertainment industry, in the comedy industry. She created a style of comedy, which I really hear. Comedy is so, it's like a language, and you either like kind of, and there are different styles, right? And you either like kind of understand it or you kind of don't. Her style makes sense to me. I just hear it. And so looking at the page, I was like, just don't do it. Don't do anything wrong. Like that's the only thing you could do is like make it to be too much, because it's so brilliant. And I really went into it just thinking that, like, just don't screw up what's so perfect on the page. And a lot of things developed, you know, like the walk and the sort of head tilt, and a lot of things did develop over time as we were working. But I think like her was something I understood really early on, and her sort of simplicity I understood really early on. She's not a complicated person. She doesn't need to be complicated. So like, just don't be complicated. Maintaining that was something I had to learn, because as you can see, I don't stop. This just runs 24/7. So like how to actually maintain that for 2.5 hours was a challenge that took me a long time to figure out. But but the notion of sort of just being like, just nothing. Yeah. Like that's what look at the script it was done already for me. And for me, that's how I heard it. And it just rang so.
Yeah. Well, it was incredibly fun to watch.
Oh my gosh.
And I think it says a lot about you that you're able to trust the material and trust simplicity, and just kind of be able to honor the script while also bringing such fun to it. So congratulations. I saw you in the show a few times. And it was just, you were a standout of that show, and I had the best time watching you work. So congrats.
Yes.
A big thing about Karen, as we saw in your intro, is she loves Halloween, and she would like it every day.
My time of year.
How do you? Are you also a Halloween enthusiast, Kate?
I am a Halloween enthusiast. My husband and I are both extreme Halloween lovers. What's funny is that he is of the like horror movie blood and guts, let's go to the haunted house version of Halloween, and I am the how many times can I watch Hocus Pocus and Nightmare Before Christmas, and maybe get into like the darkest version is Coraline, but like I want to there's bats in my window in my hotel room right now. So we are both sides of Halloween. I'm like the let's carve pumpkins. He's the like let's get so scared we pee ourselves. And so we celebrate it very differently, but we really respect the Halloween time in our house.
That's so fun. I am just beginning to transition into like, I've never been a spooky fan, but I think things started turning for me last year when they did Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
Was like the first spooky thing I ever watched, and I'm like finding my way in. Dylan, you are a spooky fan, right?
I am a very big spooky fan. My roommate's birthday is on Halloween, so we go all out on Halloween. Our apartment currently has like paper bats hanging from the ceiling in the kitchen. We had a pumpkin carving moment, and we have all these pumpkins on our stoop. It's we're very spooky and very Halloween-y here in Queens.
God, that's so funny. I didn't realize that your roommate's birthday was on Halloween.
Yes, his birthday is on Saturday.
My husband's parents, father and stepmother, got married on Halloween, and they had a costumed wedding.
Oh my gosh!
It comes from the family line. It was very much a part of the Howard culture when I got married. That I had, I already loved it, but if I hadn't, I would have had to anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so fun though. A Halloween wedding. I've never heard of such a thing.
Which means every year on their anniversary, they get to have a giant Halloween party, except for this year because we don't have any fun this year. But like,
right.
Basically, every year their anniversary is like the most fun Halloween costume party, which I'm like, that's brilliant. See, we should have done that. We should have like had our
I'm obsessed with that
holiday where everyone gets to dress up and have fun.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with that. I love Halloween so much. It's a very relaxed Halloween this year because normally by this time I've been working on my costume for 2 months. I'm like super stressed out. But this is going to be a low-key Halloween this year. But that's okay.
Okay. Think of how exciting it'll be next year.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be so good. Well, Kate, I think we're going to take this opportunity to transition into today's game of the day.
Oh,
Today's game of the day is inspired by Broadway favorite Kate Rockwell and her knowledge and love of wine. So probably to Dylan's dismay, we are going to be playing one of my favorite games.
Oh,
and that
no.
is, I know. Just run with me here, Dylan.
okay.
We're playing word smooshes.
Which is also
wine.
known as before and afters.
I call them word smooshes. This is the wine edition, and here's how it works. Every answer is going to have 2 parts. One of those parts will be a type of wine, and the other part will be a Broadway musical or role. The 2 parts, I'm going to explain this. I promise it's easier than it sounds. The 2 parts are going to overlap somewhere on a sound, but not necessarily on the actual letters. So it's not always the way it's actually spelt out, but it's in the sounds. Connect the 2 parts of the answer, you're going to win. So I'm going to give you an example, which you've inspired me to give this example based on today. So if I said Kate Rockwell's recommendation for like a beginner bottle of red wine pairs beautifully with the role that Haley Kilgore sang in Once on This Island last year.
She got it.
Chianti
There you
Moon.
go.
I got it. Okay, I
Chianti
got
Moon.
it.
So it'd be Chianti and T Moon. I'm going to give you that points anyway. I didn't even write that question in advance, but you're already 1 for 1. Look at that. Okay.
Did you just come up with that as we were talking, Michael?
I did. She said Chianti earlier, and I was like, why didn't I think of that earlier today while I was pulling my hair out, coming up with this
Chianti
question?
Moon.
Chianti Moon.
Chianti Moon.
All right.
This is
so-
how Michael's brain works, by the way.
It sure is.
I mean, that was kind of amazing. If we're gonna like stop for a minute just to talk about how
Yeah.
ridiculous you just keep it on the spot.
This is what it's like inside my head. So as always, since I made your game today, Dylan has not seen the questions. Therefore, he's on your team, as are everybody in the audience. The audience is like 14, 15 seconds behind us. So if you get really stumped, just kind of look pensive, and then you can keep an eye on the comments.
Okay.
We're all here to help you out. And like I said, it is the wine, and it's a Broadway role or a show. It could be
Okay.
either.
Okay.
But I will always tell you in the clue, and they can go in either direction. So it could either be the show into the wine or the wine into the show. It's gonna be
Okay.
great. It's gonna be so great. I also realized as I was writing this today that you've been in a Broadway show for a very long time. So I got really nervous that I don't know what shows you've seen because you're a busy gal. But I think hopefully these are big enough. It's going to be great. If you get the answer right, you will hear Alex Newell riffing from that previously mentioned production of Once on This Island. And if you get the answer wrong, you will hear something else. So let's start here. I'm going to call this question.
wrong because I desperately want to know what the something wrong sound is.
Well,
There's a few something wrong sounds, and that's why we don't give it
Yeah.
away.
Got
just
it.
yet.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're gonna hear all of them. So
Hey, you
No,
got
I think
you
you're
got
gonna nail
Chianti
it.
Moon, so
yeah.
I did.
So we're starting you off with 1 starter point because you got Chianti Moon like that. But let's move into the questions that I've previously written, starting here. Barbara, Patty, Bernadette, Angela, Imelda, Tyne, and Bet were just a few of the iconic women to take on this beast of a role, all while laying out in Sheep Meadow and sipping on the official
Mama
line
Rosé.
of... Yes!
Oh my gosh, you didn't even have to finish it.
As you were telling me what this was gonna be, I knew that was gonna be one of them. I was like, well, we gotta do Mama Rosé, right? That has to exist.
Mama
Rosé.
Yes, very good. You are 2 for 2 on this game. I knew you would get it. Let's see. Moving right along. Here comes your third question. A musical about the rise and fall of one of the most iconic Motown male singing groups ever is only a musical about the rise and fall of one of the most iconic Motown male singing groups ever if it comes from this region in France.
Boy.
And I will give you the hint that this musical is currently running.
Yes. I was like, I think I'm musical.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely Ain't Too Proud.
And it's only
Yes.
that musical if it comes from this region in France. Otherwise, it's just a sparkling Motown musical.
Oh, Champagne Too Proud. Okay. I was like, wow, we're gonna deep dive into regions in France. Champagne Too Proud.
I know. I was
Yeah.
like,
Well,
You know
then
why?
guys-
It's because I was thinking ain't two, and so I was looking at the ain't as like that was with the T on the end. I'm not proud of that.
But you got it. That would be champagne too proud.
And I'm like, Chateauneuf to pop too proud?
I was like,
Chateauneuf to pop too
Valley, Chateauneuf, right? I was getting like super dummy. I was like, Anjou, I ain't Anjou.
Well, listen, you got there. Oh my God, I can't wait. That's on my short list of musicals to see again.
I
as
have
soon as
not
Broadway
seen
reopens.
it. That was one of the
It's-
shows that I have not gotten to see because we had the same schedule. And
Mhm.
so on literally I had a list of all the things that I wanted to see because I left Mean Girls in March, literally 3 days before the shutdown was my last show. And so I saw two things. I saw the company revival and I saw the second preview of Mrs. Doubtfire because I had to go see Rob. And then I had I was going to go see West Side Story. I was going to go see Ain't Too Proud. There was so much I wanted to see. And then I will hopefully get to see them next fall.
Ain't Too Proud,
loved
Kate,
it.
that should be on your top list for when we open back up again.
And I missed because I wanted to see Ephraim so badly because he's an old friend. And I was like, there was I didn't have an opportunity. So it didn't happen. But I'm like
You were a little
heartbroken.
busy. Yeah, you had a good excuse. But yes, Ain't Too Proud was one of those musicals that I cried for the last 20 minutes straight. Not necessarily because it's a sad musical, just because I was like so moved that all I could do was cry. And I was like confused why I was crying, but I was like really feeling it. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I gotta see that again as soon as we reopen. All right, here comes your next question. We're calling this question 4. And it's about, okay, I'm just going to read it. Last season, we saw a groundbreaking revival of this golden age musical reimagined in the round. The bubbliest thing about this musical was Mary Testa serving you a chilled glass of this Italian red wine.
I hate you. I got it just because you drink this whenever we go.
No, I do not. I never drink this. This is disgusting.
Someone drinks this when we go to
It's not
that
me.
wine bar.
Say what the wine is about again because I got stuck. I knew it was I know what revivals is, but I couldn't get my head out of Carousel Land, and I finally got to the right revival. But now tell me the wine part again.
The bubbliest thing about this musical was Mary Testa serving you a chilled glass of this Italian red wine.
Prosecco, Oklahoma.
We would take Prosecco, Oklahoma.
Wait, it wasn't Lambrusco,
or
Oklahoma?
Lambrusco.
Oh!
Oklahoma. There was a red and a white option, or a red and a white,
Oh, and you were thinking Lambrusco, which it can be good if you find the right bottle, but otherwise is.
What is that wine bar
I
on your
have
corner,
yet to
Michael?
I have yet to find the right bottle, apparently. Bar Veloce on
Bar
56th.
Veloce.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have a Lambrusco.
Their
that's
Lambrusco
not
by the
terrible.
glass is not the best, but
They
they're not open
exist-
yet. So.
They exist in a dry form. You can get dry Lambrusco, which is delicious, but that's not what the Americans get. They sell us this swill because of the 70s.
Yeah.
Like the jugs of Lambrusco that absolutely my friends' parents in Indiana used to drink. Yeah, that.
Oh, for
Ooh.
sure. Yeah.
No grass, no grass.
All right. Well, if you're just tuning in, we are 5 questions in. So far, Kate Rockwell's playing a perfect game of Broadway and wine word smooshes. Let's see if I can stump you with this one. It was recently announced that a filmed version of Jefferson May's One Man, A Christmas Carol would be streamed this November to benefit theaters all around the country. I'm very excited about this. It's going to be great. I love him. So let's talk about this.
Okay.
Jefferson Mays also appeared many times as many different people in this Tony Award-winning musical about the most widely planted white grape variety, which originates from the Burgundy area of France.
Is it like Chardonnay, Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder?
That is correct.
Oh my gosh, Kate!
I love that musical. I wanted to be in that musical so bad. And
Oh,
it
you would have
was
been so great in
one of
that
my
musical.
favorites it was so good. And he was ridiculously
He's
excellent. Like,
incredible.
I truly sat in Act 2, like just hand in my hands, like astonished at how wonderful he was in that show.
I remember leaving that theater and I was like, this is going to be like the secret killer at the Tonys this year. I was like, this is like one of my favorite things I've seen in a very long time. Loved Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder.
It was incredible. I'm seeing Chris Mester Simpson. You got Chardonnay right, but you didn't make the jump to A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. I don't have time to type, he says. Well, that's okay. Kate is smoking this game. Full disclosure, I was so nervous about this game. I was like, I don't know if I'm giving good clues, but so far you're absolutely nailing it. Let's see if you can get this next one.
Okay.
Full disclosure, I don't actually know what this musical is about, but I assume it's about more than 4 guys with the same name, all drinking a very sweet Italian wine that is often served as an aperitif.
5 guys named Moscato.
Kate, we haven't had to hit the no button yet. I'm obsessed with this.
I also don't know what that musical is about.
But
Does
everybody
anybody
talks about
know? Does anybody know what 5 guys named Moscato?
No.
5 guys named Mo is about?
I looked it up today. It is in fact about a guy whose girlfriend breaks up with him, and he goes home and he turns on the radio, and his name is Mo, and 4 more guys named Mo like come out of the radio and sing songs and cheer him up. It's like a jukebox musical, apparently.
Huh.
According to my like
Interesting.
very truncated Wikipedia.
Oh, we're getting a yes.
Thank you.
When was
Yes,
the last time that
confirmed.
was produced anywhere commercially?
Unclear, but you got it. It's one of those ones that I feel like comes up in trivia all the time. So, very proud of you.
5
York?
guys named Mo.
That was a good helpful clue, though. The more than 4 guys with the same name was the only way I was going to get the title of that show.
Well, at the time I wrote the clue, I only knew the title, so that's all I had to go off of. Okay, I told you earlier that it was always going to be a show or a character. I lied, so just know that when I read this next clue. Here we
Okay.
go. This is clue number 7. So far, you are 6 for 6. Let's see if you can get this next one. This is a wine and Broadway word smoosh. Here we go. Bonnie Milligan made her Broadway debut in a musical set in this fictional kingdom, where they drink the lightest bodied of what I consider the mainstream red wines.
Oh my god, the name. I saw the show. The name
I saw
of
the show 3 times. I should remember the
Dylan,
name.
I was hoping you would remember the name of this. If you're in the comments and you know what's the name of the show? Anybody?
Head Over Heels.
If you're in the comments and you know where Head Over Heels is set, help us out. We are looking for where Head Over Heels is set.
It's Arcadia.
It is. And now we're looking for what I consider, and I'm not a wino, what I consider the lightest bodied of the mainstream red wines.
Huh. Arcadia. And you're thinking the lightest body of the mainstream red wines.
Okay, I got it.
Kate can do this. Don't tell her.
Okay.
Now, originally I was like, let's help her out. Now I'm like, no, she's gonna figure this out. If you were to go to the theater and they only had probably like 4 types of red wine, this would be their lightest one.
I'm stuck on one that it can't possibly be. So I am very stuck.
It doesn't sound like it would make sense but just because I think I know how Michael's brain works, I think it makes sense.
And the wine comes first, if that helps.
Oh, okay. Pinot Noir Arcadia.
There it is. I knew you would get there.
I was like, it can't be that because you can't get Pinot anywhere at the end of that. I thought I wasn't doing a good job of flipping.
That's okay. We're here for you. You got it. It's a perfect game still with Pinot Noir Arcadia.
The Countess of Pembroke's Arcadia was apparently.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah, that would have been, I really enjoyed that show, mostly because of Bonnie Milligan, but like, I don't know that I would have been able to pull that name of place.
I remember when I was on a road trip recently, I passed a high school that was Arcadia High School, and I took a picture of it and I sent it to Bonnie. And yeah, that's the only reason why I remembered it, was when I saw that high school. And I think Delaware I was in, but who knows?
well,
You're
you
like,
got the beat.
somewhere.
All right, here comes your 8th question. We have 3 more. So far, we have not stumped you. Let's see if you can get these last 3. Although, this one is As we get towards the end, my clues get, we're stretching a little bit. I'm reaching for some of this. Okay, here we
I
go.
love it.
Although this grape can be found as a red wine, here in the US, its lighter, almost rosé variety outsells its red counterpart by 6 times the amount. It was my grandma's favorite, and probably yours too. I guess you could say she just couldn't let it go.
Rose Zinfandel.
Do you say
correct.
Froze Infidel?
Frozen and Zinfandel. Frozen
Rose
Findale.
Zinfandel.
I was
God.
thinking, I was like, White Zinfandel? I'm like, White Zinf... you got it. I couldn't get it. Elsa, Frozen.
Yes.
My mom got it right? What?
Way to go. All right, that was Frozen Findale. Speaking of Frozen, here comes
Okay.
your ninth and almost last question, your penultimate question. Speaking of Frozen, the cheery snowman, voiced by Broadway's Josh Gad, loves this zesty Italian white wine. Unlike most white wines, which come from green grapes, this wine's grapes have a grayish blue hue.
I have another one, but it's a red, so that's not right.
Nope, we're looking for a white wine, and the wine will come first.
Is it Biancoloff?
Sorry, you broke up. Say it one more time.
Oh, is it Pinot Biancoloff
You're very close, but that's
or Pinot Biancoloff?
think simpler. I didn't get that fancy.
Okay.
Is it?
Pinot
Is it-
Biancoloff. Yeah. Okay.
Grigiola.
Pinot Grigio.
They're related. They're Pinot Biancoloff. They're related.
Great. I am not as good at wine as you are, but I appreciate that you thought I knew what any of those words meant. But we were just looking for Pinot Grigiola.
That was the thing. You went so deep in your cut of like wine grape story. I was like, oh, this is a good one. I guess I didn't even think as Pinot Grigio.
Yeah. Full disclosure, guys. For a minute today, we weren't sure what Kate's. You disclosed to us earlier that you're on a project that we're not going to delve into, but we didn't know what Kate's schedule was going to be like today. And for a minute, we weren't sure that she could be the guest today. And I was like, who on earth else am I going to play wine, Broadway, word smooshes with? But you're very good at this. I think this is a one-of-a-kind game. This is only for you. So we're very glad you're playing it. And here comes your last question. This would be for a perfect game.
Oh my gosh.
And it is, it's very timely. So let's see. Broadway star and human powerhouse, Betty Buckley, recently put out yet another statement demanding that our current president stop using this Andrew Lloyd Webber song at his rallies. She also demanded that we stop drinking this super sweet white wine that Michael likens to a thick glass of sugar water. I realize I've given you like no clues for the wine. It's a very sweet white wine, and it comes second in the answer.
Okay. Sweet white wine. I'm assuming this song is Memory. Am I correct in assuming that?
You are correct.
Yeah.
That is the song that Betty
Great.
Buckley would like him to stop playing. She says, stop using my voice at your rallies.
Yeah, I was like, that's the song I imagine that our president is using in his
Yeah.
jobs. So dark.
And in what concept is he using this song Memory? But let's look back to the question.
So
That's what I
Memory
mean.
comes-
Dark, actually, on so many levels.
Memory comes first, and then we're looking for a very sweet white wine.
Oh.
Or I'm being told in the comments it could also be dry. So maybe I don't know anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Memory,
Do you see the
but
comments?
it's a white wine.
It is
No.
white. It's usually
I don't see
in a-
that.
Well,
I think he got it.
Oh, it's so not always super sweet. Not at all.
No.
It's okay.
I know
But
I'm being
good-
yelled at. I've clearly never had a dry Riesling. They are delicious. Well, listen, I'm learning so much today. We're going to give you the point because you were that close. Let me check my scorecard real quick. And it looks like that's a perfect game for Kate Rockwell, the Broadway wino of Broadway and Wine Word Smooshes. Thank you for
That's fun.
playing.
Yes, I gotta get you some Riesling from the Finger Lakes, Michael.
Chianti
Oh
and
my
Riesling,
God, the
apparently.
Finger
Those are
Lakes,
what I have to...
Germany. Oh, they make really good dry Riesling in California. Yeah, their dry Riesling is it. It's good wine.
Great. I'll have to get on that.
Yeah. I got a few recommendations for you. I have a friend who works at a winery in the Finger Lakes, and their Riesling is perfect.
Amazing. I've been there. I've been to the Finger Lakes multiple times, and I would love to know what winery your friend works at. We don't have to do
Sheldrake
put them on the
Point.
intro. I was a member of their wine club for a long time. I love their
Oh my
wines.
God. Their Gamay Noir is like one of my favorite bottles I've ever had. I always, whenever I'm up there, I get a half a case.
Their
It's-
rosé is competitive in terms of like the best rosés. It's like it's like $16 or something. Under $20 rosés in the US. They're
Yeah. The wine store near my apartment sells Sheldrake now, and I am so happy about it because their Riesling, their Gamay Noir, their rosé, and
all
they
their
have
single
another one.
all their single vineyard Riesling are so yummy, and it's so inexpensive. Their wines are really inexpensive. They do a really nice job.
Yes. Well, in the years 17 and 18, my friend was stomping on those grapes and bottling those bottles.
I love that. That's like I have like a little bit of a, if this keeps going on, like I'm going to even go stomp grapes because I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to be like there for like harvest and stuff. And I want there, but you know, that's a big time here in New York. So like, it's hard to leave except for now there's no time in New York. So I guess maybe this is my chance.
Yes.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, it just might be. Kate, we have two questions that we ask all of our guests before we can wrap this up. And so we're going to ask you now. The first of those questions is Dylan, I'm blanking. I've had two. This is not my. I did a refill. When
I did a re-pour as well.
Go ahead. You ask it.
Oh, gosh,
I've asked it
what's the first
114 times.
I know. The first question is, I can only think of the second question in my head.
I got it. I'm back.
What are you most looking forward to when this is all over, basically?
God.
Broadway is coming back. It'll happen eventually, but like, what are you most looking forward to whenever that is?
When the world starts to come back, what are you looking forward to?
This is like, I mean, I guess it's twofold. So it's not so crazy that I'm going to say this, but like, I feel like the biggest loss that I have experienced is not being able to sing with other people because it's dangerous to sing, right? Like singing is like the worst thing you can do with other people right now.
Right. Yes.
Than like sharing beverages. So definitely not high on the list of like acceptable activities during COVID. And so I really, really miss like singing with musicians, other live, instrumentation, but also other vocalists. And I miss dancing with people, which is funny because I am an atrocious dancer. I hate dance. Like I'm so bad at it. My body does not love doing any style of dance. And yet like I miss, like we used to go all the time to Green, which was this like little bar.
Yes, we love Haswell Greens.
Yes.
And we would just like have a cocktail and a pizza and let down together as a company. And I miss that so much. So I miss being able to like just dance with friends. And I like any like weird, again, I'm not a dancer. I know people tell you it's not good when I'm doing it, but I really miss being able to. And so I have those two things. Like I just can't wait to sing and dance with my friends again.
Yeah, absolutely. Go to Haswell Greens, get a glass of wine, and just dance the night away listening to Imperial Cities. That's what I need.
Oh my God, they are.
I miss Imperial Cities.
Tom, one of the keys players for Imperial Cities, is a former guest of our show, and he's doing awesome things on YouTube. If you don't follow him, I wish I knew his handle off the top of my head.
I think it's just at Tom McGovern.
Is doing some really fun musical theater parody stuff and is still playing and still making people laugh.
And he has an album coming out soon.
So shout out to Tom
Good
McGovern.
for him. Oh, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
And then our other question for you is, that is what we're looking forward to. But in the meantime, here in this bizarre pandemic world that we are living in and we're making it work, what is something that has brought you joy during this weird, weird time? What is something that you've been holding on to that's been bringing you some joy?
Honestly, cooking. I love to cook. I've always loved to cook. I love to be in the kitchen and whether it's I'm not a very good baker because I'm not very good at following instructions, but I love to I learned how to make bread over this not sourdough bread, just normal old bread. My husband is the baker, and so he does the hard sourdough starter stuff, but I just made bread one day, and I love just my kitchen and getting to pull everything out of my refrigerator and make something out of it is truly how I cook. It's everything is fair game. That has
so you would be good on Chopped.
Would you be good at Chopped? That they use Chopped are not things that will ever add to my refrigerator. I watched the other day that was pig's blood pudding and also brains. I was I don't want anything to do with this episode of television. I was so bored. I watched Chopped because I have cable here and I'm alone all day, so I need noise in the background. So Chopped is a regular Chopped and SVU on all the time while I'm here. But yeah, I think it's been really great for me to have that. But it's also not been great because I do all this cooking and then I eat it all and then I don't move.
Well, it's a pandemic.
Yes, we're all there right now. We're all there right now.
2020.
Oh my gosh. Well, you are an absolute delight. We both adore you.
Yes, thank you so much for being on today. It was so wonderful.
Catching
up with you and learning so much about wine.
Yes,
that
cheers.
was a really fun little wine Broadway game connection, universes colliding thing.
I'm so glad you liked it. I was so nervous. I was she clearly knows a lot about wine. I was do I know enough about wine to ask the questions? Or am I going to be leading her down the wrong path? Which I only did once or twice.
And we'll get you a dry Riesling, so it'll be fine.
It's going to be great.
Well, now we teach you about dry Riesling. Switch us.
Yes. You guys, if you don't follow Kate Rockwell, her handle is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Give her a follow so you can figure out what she's working on right now, that she is coming to us live from Quarantini, from sequester, and she's got she's a good follow. I promise. Follow her there and follow her at Broadway Wino. Kate, we love you so much. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we can't wait to see you when it is safe to do so.
Everybody, go vote, please.
Yes,
vote. Thanks,
only a
Kate.
few more days left. Thanks, Kate.
If you guys are just tuning in,
you're late.
You're late. You just missed our very special Broadway guest bartender for the day was Kate Rockwell from a million Broadway shows, and also who happens to be a super smart wino.
Yes.
And she absolutely killed the game. We're enjoying a lovely glass of red wine, and this has really turned my gloomy Thursday around.
Really has, Michael. I'm looking outside and it's pitch dark now.
Yeah.
But it was, it was such a gloomy, terrible day here, and this really lifted me up, and we hope we lifted your spirits up as well.
This was a super good time. You guys, if you had fun, please do hit subscribe on this YouTube channel. There are 3 shows that come your way every week. Starting, Jill and I are kind of the finish line of the week, but we'll start all over again on Monday. Monday nights is MT Trivia with Christopher and Kevin Metzger-Timpson. 3 rounds of Broadway trivia, 2 very special Broadway guests, and only 1 winner. They're battling it out, and only 1 person survives.
And I think they just announced their guests for this week, Michael.
I think they did. Would you like to let us know who they are?
Yes, as soon as I can pull up the Metzger-Timpson's
guys,
things.
Spoiler alert, they're from the cast of Hamilton.
Yes.
They're
Who
2
Kevin?
very talented men. Oh, I'm not reading the same thing you're reading, Dylan.
What?
I thought we were reading the same thing. Their guests on Monday night
are
Andrew Chappelle and Ryan Vasquez.
Ryan Vasquez.
Both from the cast of Hamilton. They will be live this Monday night at 9 o'clock. Then on Tuesday nights, normally I'm live with my best gal pal, Jackie Cox. We are taking this Tuesday off because, as we may have mentioned once, twice, or 100 times, Tuesday is election day. So don't watch us on Tuesday, but it'll be your last chance to vote. Please, please, please go out and vote. You can do it on Tuesday. You cannot do it on Monday, but you can also do it past election day.
Yes.
And Dylan and I are also taking next week off for the election week as well. So you'll catch us 2 weeks from now as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Make sure you vote. Did I mention that?
Yes,
Guys-
and I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I'm just going to.
Yeah, I love your shirt, Dylan.
I need. Oh,
I really do.
I was just grabbing my wine. That's all.
Until then, you guys, please wash your hands.
Wear a mask.
We love you
Stay
all.
safe and open up a nice bottle of Chianti tonight. Am I right?
Cheers. We'll see you next